Hey, Chainsaw Man, this is Chris Bolts, and I'm going to be coming in with the video because I'm about to just start bashing on your guys' shit. Because I find Chainsaw Man to be completely overrated. I saw the entire first season. I was like, I don't see what's so special about this. I was excited to watch Chainsaw Man based on how everybody was reacting to the manga prior to its release, and then I saw the anime, and I'm like, okay, that I don't see anything special here. Why is this a special thing? I see it has an average rating of 4.9. I'm gonna go in there and I'll give it 2 stars. It has an average rating of 4.9. So obviously you guys like Chainsaw Man, but me personally, I don't care for it. But now there's an even bigger reason why I don't care for Chainsaw Man, because it looks like the author, the mangaka of Chainsaw Man, is a giant raving anti-American himself. But before I do get into this article, do make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. All that stuff really helps me out. And the title of this article from comicbook.com by Zachariah Ali is Chainsaw Man Abandoned Subtlety in Its Biggest Skewering of America to Date. So if it sounds like this is a biggest skewering of America to date, then that tells me that the mangaka has been skewering America throughout his entire manga, which is kind of ironic because didn't Japan start the war with us? And a lot of people like to sit there and say, well, you guys dropped those bombs on Japan. And my retort to that is, the aggressor of any kind of war does not get to sit there and talk how the aggrieved fights back. We didn't start any war with Japan, regardless of what you might think about economic policy or anything like that. But Japan sure did with us when they decided to go ahead and bomb Pearl Harbor. Oh, we were just supposed to take that sitting down and not do anything? We were just supposed to fight them tooth and nail and just invade Japan proper and kill lots of Japanese civilians because they all wanted to show their loyalty to Emperor Hirohito and die for the rising sun? Nah, we dropped 2 nukes on them and said, stop it. And guess what happened? Japan stopped, and Japan has become one of our closest allies in the world. So it's kind of a good lesson right there, but it seems that the mangaka here doesn't want to go ahead and recognize that. It only has his first name, Fujimoto. I don't know what his first name or anything like that is. Let me go ahead and look him up. So that's his name, Tatsuki Fujimoto. I wonder if I'm pretty sure he didn't get educated in America because, yeah, he went to Tohoku University of Art and Design in Yamagata Prefecture. He definitely did not get educated in America, but he does have some nationalist passion about himself, which I'm fine with. I am fine with you being a nationalist for Japan. I wish there were more nationalists over here in America that have a good allegiance to their own country and wishes their country to be strong and independent and vibrant. I'm fine with all of that. But to sit there and then try taking pot shots at other countries and everything because you simply don't like them or what they did in the past. To me, you're no different than any other kind of sorry little piece of shit leftist in America who can't let go of anything in the past, and they need that justification to show themselves to have some type of meaning in their life to go ahead and support whatever it is that they're supporting. And it just makes no amount of goddamn sense. But back to the Chainsaw Man article right here. Looks like this starts off in chapter 210. And apparently there's a character named Yoru who is in love with America because they brought back nuclear weapons and leading to an increase in fear of war. Now, we are the only country that did drop the two nuclear weapons. But what have we dropped since then? What has America done since dropping those 2 nuclear weapons? Have we went around the world dropping nuclear bombs, threatening to nuke any place on Earth that disagrees with us? No, we haven't done anything like that. In fact, we've been leading the charge against nuclear proliferation. Now, yes, we proliferate immensely, but that is because we happen to be the strongest nation on Earth. Soviet Union, or Russia rather, they proliferate. They happen at the time to be the second strongest nation on earth. Then there's China. Then there's Israel. We all know Israel has nukes. And Iran wanted to go ahead and get their nuclear weapons, but we've been leading the charge against nuclear proliferation. So we haven't been going around bringing back nuclear weapons. We haven't been using them to lead an increase in fear of war. Other than fighting the war in Afghanistan and war in Iraq, we haven't really been running around the world trying to fight wars. Under the current president, Donald Trump, we definitely haven't been trying to fight wars. We've been trying to end them, trying to go away from all of that stuff. And we got this panel right here. America, yay, I remember everything now. Of course, I don't love dingy. I'm in love with, and it cuts off right there. But it says right here, the chapter featured bleak and harrowing imagery of people burnt to a crisp because of nuclear bomb, as well as thousands of Americans cheering this, criticizing both the American government and the civilians for their part in this. Now, again, we didn't ask to go over there and drop those nuclear weapons on Japan. Japan asked for it. Japan started the war. If you don't want to suffer the consequences of your actions, don't engage in the actions that lead to those consequences. And then the author himself right here says something stupid. Furthermore, Yoru's use of the peace sign while proclaiming her love for the U.S. and its imperialist tendencies is irony on Fujimoto's part. There are no imperialist tendencies. What countries have we really been trying to take over and stay there for long periods of time and try to indoctrinate them with American culture? Frankly, if I'm being honest, we should have done that. If we're going to go to war, we should be taking over everything and forcing our will on them. But we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't force our will on everyone. We just got up and left Afghanistan ignominiously, however you say that word. We didn't leave any soldiers there. We left a whole bunch of equipment there for the Taliban to take. We don't have a presence in Iraq right now. We do have some American bases all over the place, but that's really at the protest of the countries that we are staying in, like in Japan, when they signed the treaty on I forgot the name of the battleship there. They basically said, yeah, we're not going to be a militaristic nation anymore. That we would like you guys to protect us because, hey, we got China over there. Because let's remember, the Japanese did some really bad things to the Chinese and to the Koreans and to a lot of other Asian nations within their vicinity during that time. We don't like to talk about that much, do they? But they certainly did. From the fact that the U.S. quite literally reinvented the weapons of mass destruction twice, highlighting the country's unstoppable quest for destruction. Where have we gone around trying to destroy shit? We don't want to destroy shit, especially under the Trump. A lot of these idiots, I'm pretty sure this guy didn't vote for Trump, and there was some idiot in the comment section that was saying a whole bunch of shit. I had to put him on block. I put him on block because I didn't want to read his nonsense anymore. It's like, dude, what destruction are we going around doing? We're trying to stop wars. We're wanting to do things with people economically. But if you fuck with us, we'll fuck with you. Don't start, won't be none. So I don't know what this guy is talking about. If he said they reinvented the weapons of mass destruction twice, I don't know if he said, well, he does say the term quite literally, which is stupid. We didn't reinvent the weapons of mass destruction. There was an arms race at the time between the Soviet Union and the United States. We just happened to get to the bomb first before the Soviet Union. Then he goes on to say, this is not the first time, however, that creator Tatsuki Fujimoto has criticized America, although they were not as loud as this. In chapter 178, a devil with a gun comes out of the Statue of Liberty. Go ask a lot of the Japanese how they feel about guns. A lot of them, you guys still have problems with murder over there. It doesn't necessarily have to be at the hand of a gun. Let me go ahead and take a look at that one. Chainsaw Man cliffhanger turns the Statue of Liberty into a deadly devil. Everybody got this giant imagination of America being this ultra violent place, and we got problems with crime, obviously, just like around the world. However, that's what happens when you mix competing cultures and you allow massive immigration into your country. It's kind of ironic that Japan doesn't do that. Japan is quite homogenous, quite nationalistic, quite xenophobic. But they still have problems within their own cultures, within their own communities about crime. A few months ago, a social media influencer was stabbed and killed live on camera. Another one where an animation studio was set on fire because the arsonist had a disagreement over the direction of the anime or the manga or whatever. Violence comes in different forms of fashion and everything like that. But to sit here and say that the Statue of Liberty, which pretty much takes in people from all around the world, America does. We got a really giant Japanese population here, Japanese American population here. This is rank foolishness right here. And of course, we know what the last time Japan did with guns. Like I said, they were quite brutal with their stuff. This idea that this Fujimoto making a mockery of America, and then Americans are just gobbling up this shit up. Once again, I like to say that there is no bigger anti-American than an American, and a leftist one at that. Americans hate their country more than any other country on earth, which is ridiculous. Furthermore, the fact that the gun devil resides in America and has a contract with the leader of the country is further proof of the manga's criticisms against the nation. Fujimoto has always utilized imagery and symbolism to draw parallels with the United States and criticize the many wars and destruction it has unleashed on dozens of the countries around the world. And this chapter is just continuing the trend, albeit very on the nose. You talk about ungrateful. You talk about ungrateful. You know how many Americans died in World War II to stop Japan's dumbass foolishness? You know how many Americans died to stop Japan's dumbass foolishness? To stop a war that they started? You know how many Americans died to stop Adolf Hitler? To free Europe from their nonsense? You know how many Americans died trying to stop the spread of communism? And now we got a whole bunch of dumbass motherfuckers in this country getting ready to elect a dumb Muslim socialist to be a communist, to be mayor of New York City, the very city that a bunch of dumbass Muslims went and bombed with the flying planes into the World Trade Center. You know how many Americans died trying to bring freedom to Afghanistan and Iraq? You know how many Americans stand at the ready to fight Iran? To fight Russia? To fight China? And we got this dumbass Japanese saying some dumb shit like this with his stupid piece of shit manga? You ungrateful motherfucker. You motherfuckers started that war with us in 1943 or whatever it took place. You guys started that shit. And let's not forget Korea, too. We fought Korea to a standstill. They're still technically at war. The 52nd parallel, the demilitarized zone. We patrol that shit on behalf of South Korea. I mean, the ungratefulness of this motherfucker to sit there and say some shit like that. Yeah, I definitely will not be watching anything more associated with Chainsaw Man. This will be the last thing that I read on behalf of Chainsaw Man. Fuck this sorry piece of shit mangaka. He can keep his shit. And then, of course, then down here, we got all these stupid shit. Some of these people that are sitting here changing the content. I'm gonna unblock this motherfucker for a moment. This Elias algorithm. This piece of shit, dumb motherfucker leftist. I'm pretty sure he's a sorry ass piece of shit Antifa supporting dumbass bitch motherfucker sitting there saying some dumb shit like this. It elected a racist, misogynistic, egomaniacal PDF, I don't even know what that means, that praises dictators and fluffs the military he ran away from after his incompetence resulted in over 1 million unnecessary deaths. He must be talking about COVID. And then he lied about losing the election. And now he's partnered with the cult to strip away the rights of anyone that isn't a heterosexual Christian white dude, having already made women second-class citizens because he hates other people having choices. And despite the campaigning on fixing the economy he broke, to say nothing of how everything he has ever touched has gone bankrupt, he has forced the return of insane tariffs that are destroying every aspect of the economy after he trained it for 8 months to panic over his tantrums. He is the president we deserve. And all I just said to that dumb shit, all you prove is that there is no greater anti-American than an American, and a leftist one at that. Now we can put that motherfucker back on block because I ain't got time to deal with people like that shit anymore. Chainsaw Man, fuck this shit. I'm not watching this shit ever again. Criticize America, and there's certainly a lot of things that we can criticize America about. But don't you try to come out here and try to act like you're holier than thou and try to make our country look like a piece of shit when your fucking shit is the reason why we are over in your country to begin with. Tatsuki Fujimoto. But those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts about on all this? Whatever the case they may be, jump down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Make sure you do like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. All that stuff really does help me out. And remember, this is Chris Bolt signing off, and I will catch you guys in the next video. You take it easy.